Entering a new class is exciting for some, but not for everybody. Adapting to a new classroom is challenging, so it's definitely not a welcome back to school for Anthony, Kabir, Summer, and Kara when they start the last class of elementary school, the 5th grade. The preparation to say goodbye to elementary school comes with a price. They must act like grown-ups now. We see everybody trying to settle into their new classroom, but the class pets, Leonardo, a lizard, and Squirtle, a turtle, do the introduction for us. Mrs. Salinas, their pregnant homeroom teacher for 5th grade, enters to introduce the children to the pets, but the kids do not like them, mentioning how they poo and sleep in the same place. However, Mrs. Salinas tells them about the reward for a class that participates in a competition and wins at the end of the year. Now, the reward for the winning class is a field trip to the Magic Land Park for an entire day. The excitement ends the moment Mrs. Salinas throws up in a class. It surprises the kids to see her do this, but the pets are not surprised. These animals have been there since the 50s. The parents come to see the homeroom and Mrs. Salinas and hear bad news from Mr. Spawn, the principal. There will be a substitute for Mrs. Salinas, as she will be taking leave until she gives birth. The parents become devastated, arguing how it will be a bad idea for the kids. Two parents cite the class pets, observing how old Leo is since he is a Tuatara. When Leo thinks about this, he realizes how old he is, remembering when he was dropped in the cage in 1949. He tries to count the years he has spent so far, only to signal a fire drill to invite pets from other classes to help him out. The fire alarm succeeds in bringing the other pets out, and Cinnabon, the rabbit from the 2nd grade, answers Leo's question, telling him that he would be 74 if he arrived at Fort Myers Elementary School in 1949. Leo is so devastated, realizing he only has 1 year to live. Squirtle advises Leo to start a daily exercise which he is too old to do, mentioning how helpful it would be to make him look younger and not die. But Leo wants to escape and see the world so he will enjoy the rest of his life. The sadness in the pet's terrarium and the noise in the classroom disappears as soon as the substitute teacher for Mrs. Salinas walks in. Her name is Ms. Malkin, and it's quite unusual how she scares the kids with just her appearance. The kids are sad to see Mrs. Salinas go, and Ms. Malkin states her new rules, which the kids must listen to or face the consequences. No class hearts for listening, no eating, and no storytelling too. There is another rule too, and this one is an advantage to Leo, who sees it as an opportunity to escape. One of the kids must volunteer to take home a class pet over the weekend and return it in good condition. Squirtle sees this as a bad news, recollecting how kids in the past forgot to feed them and even abused them. The kids do not fancy this new responsibility, so they refuse to volunteer until Summer agrees to take Leo home. At Summer's house, Leo attempts to escape, only to get caught by Summer, who also learns that he can talk after hearing his voice. Leo begs Summer not to tell anyone, not even her parents, or he might end up at a scientist's lab. Summer was a very talkative girl who could make anyone feel sleepy just by talking to them about boring stuff nonstop. She asks Leo how he could talk, and the lizard replies on how special she is. Anyway, the little girl promises to tell anyone. As Summer and Leo started getting along, Leo realized that Summer was a blabbermouth, which was not only annoying but also preventing her from making friends at school. So Leo set out to resolve her problem. He asked Summer to ask people questions instead of always talking about her own life. Summer tried it out, and it worked. The next day, when Summer returns Leo back to school, she began to ask questions to her friends about their lives instead of blabbering about her own, and she became successful in making friends. The weekend is over, and Ms. Malkin welcomes the kids with a new seating arrangement and a reminder to focus on their curriculum. Ms. Malkin is preparing the kids for middle school, but Cole never takes anything seriously as usual. He makes fun of Ms. Malkin, and the other kids laugh. This laughter is cut short when the teacher asks another kid to volunteer to take a class pet home. Just because she enjoyed the last experience, Summer volunteers again, but Ms. Malkin objects to her offer, forcing Eli to volunteer this weekend. Immediately after school, Summer offers to visit Eli and play with Leo, but Eli's drone stops her from getting close to him. In Eli's house, we find out his father was a scientist, and his mother was someone who took extreme precautions regarding her son's safety and health. They used an AI drone, which followed Eli like his own shadow. The drone is used to scan everything from foods to toys before allowing Eli to take them, which was frustrating for him. He couldn't even have a single moment of happiness with his friends, as his mother forced him to wear a safety suit. Leo witnesses what the kid is going through, and even though he wanted to escape, he couldn't. Eli discovers that the lizard can talk, but Leo ends the kid fear by saying how special he is. He decides to help Eli on what he's going through, so he tells Eli to write a letter expressing his feelings about the drone's constant interference in his life and give it to the drone. Eli does exactly as he is told, and even though it broke the drone's heart, he managed to live his life in his own way for a while. The two bond together, with the lizard teaching him how to climb a fence and play around. Ella's weekend with Leo ends, and he returns to the terrarium to meet Squirtle, who is surprised to see him return with a wounded tail. The struggle to take Leo begins again, but this time, Jada volunteers to take the lizard home after seeing Eli and Summer fight over him. Jada parents are the most rich in town, but she experienced less attention from them. She takes Leo to the room, complaining bitterly about how boring her birthday party will be. Leo utters a word, and she realizes that the lizard can talk. Leo talked to her as well, getting the same explanation that Jada was a special one. He advises her to be humble, allowing Jada to look into herself. Jada was astonished by Leo's words and realized that she shouldn't feel so proud of herself and her family or consider themselves extraordinary. Meanwhile, Jada's father was making plans for her birthday party, and she had told him to bring a celebrity, but after talking to Leo, she decided to invite her friends. On her birthday, her father organized a massive zoo where every kind of animal was caged up, just like Leo was. Leo felt their pain and decided to free them. Jada and her friends assist Leo in the process, and they freed all those animals. Leo decided to escape with them, but he felt that these kids needed him. He had also become fond of the connections he had made with the students, so he returned, dropping the idea of going outside. As Leo was taken back to the classroom once again, he informs Squirtle his decision. The students begins to leave cell phones in Leo's cage so that they could continue to communicate with him. Squirtle discovers that Leo was talking to the kids, which was making him popular among the kids. As he questions Leo on his reasons on doing this, Leo replied that he was simply imparting his age-long wisdom since he is going to die soon, and is trying to make those kids feel special in his own way. Squirtle got jealous of Leo. The next kid to take Leo home is Anthony, the class bully. However, he ends up taking both Leo and Squirtle. The turtle attempts to talk to Anthony like Leo does, but he ends up saying hurtful things to the kid. But Leo comes to the rescue and calms Anthony, telling him to enjoy being a kid. At school, Ms. Malkin wonders why the kids pick Leo over and over again, leaving Squirtle behind. Therefore, she makes a new rule: the kids must work hard to win the academic decathlon, or risk taking Squirtle instead. There is tension, and the kids get to work by reading hard for the competition. One after the other, they take Leo again, tightening the bond between them and the lizard. They leave their phones with him, just so they can speak with him after school hours. Little did they know that this new love for Leo was also helping Ms. Malkin get a good reputation for not being an awful substitute as they all thought. Everything gets ruined by Squirtle's jealousy, who made a video with one of those phones and sent it to everyone. The students found out that Leo actually talked to everyone, and there was no special one for this. As all of the students gathered around Leo and asked him why he lied, Leo told them that he only wanted to make them feel special. Ms. Malkin hears the lizard speak and realizes the lizard is responsible for guiding the students to the right path. She takes Leo home, wondering why the pet would dare to advise her students behind her back. Fortunately, Leo finds out that Ms. Malkin hates being a substitute, so he makes her feel happy, telling her how great she is as a teacher. At the history fair, Ms. Malkin takes Leo with her, keeping him safe in her pockets. The kids are angry at him, but all thanks to him, they win the academic decathlon and Ms. Malkin wins the Teacher of the Year award. The principal thanks Malkin for her great performance and recruited her as a permanent teacher for the school. Malkin should have been thankful to Leo, who was the driving force behind her achievement, but the success changed her mindset. She decided to take the entire credit, so she drives Leo to the forest and dump him there. Even if it is his dream to see the forest, Leo is not happy and is also scared because of the predators. The kids wonder where Leo is, and it makes them sad to see that he is not here to receive their gratitude. Ms. Malkin reads a fake letter she claims Leo left behind, making the kids wish they never entered 5th grade. With or without Leo, they must go to the Magic Land Park since they won the competition. Squirtle knew it was Malkin who was the last one to take Leo home since he disappeared. However, Squirtle does something brave. He calls the drone to help him locate the kids so he can tell them the truth and maybe find Leo. Luckily, he finds the kids in the coaster headed for the park, making Squirtle reveal the truth without delay. He tells the kids how Ms. Malkin took Leo out of the terrarium just because she wanted to take all the credit. This is when he also reveals that Leo might die soon because he is already old. The kids are angry at Ms. Malkin, and she confesses the location of where she left Leo, the scary forest. She tries to convince Kimura, the driver, to take them to the forest, but he refuses to do so. Meanwhile, Leo finds it difficult to adapt to the forest as he is too slow to catch flies and mingle with other lizards. Luckily, he finds the animals he rescued from Jada's party, and they help him this time. Ms. Malkin now has a change of heart as she leads the kids to run away while Kimura orders their food. There is no one to drive and Caber volunteers to drive them to the forest at high speed. In the forest, Leo finally mingles with his fellow lizard and he discovers he will still live even after 100 years. He is happy to hear this, but another problem shows up, the angry crocodiles. The kids and Ms. Malkin find their way into the forest, only to meet a crocodile who wants to eat them. Summer bores him with her long talk, and the drone succeeds in eliminating the reptile. Not long after they start their search for Leo, they find him and begin to hug him one after the other. The lizard reveals that he won't die as he predicted, and this is when he lets out tears for the first time. Life returns to normal for all of them, including Leo and Squirtle, and Ms. Malkin becomes lenient with them. Mrs. Salinas returns with her baby, whom she named Cole, and as usual, the kids are excited to see her. The kids are ready to leave elementary school, but not ready to leave their pet, Leo. However, the lizard is smart to give them one piece of advice. They must find a Leo to talk to wherever they find themselves. As for Ms. Malkin, she becomes a teacher and not a substitute. But Leo and Squirtle get to follow her to any class she is appointed to. Why not? The pets are excited to learn the alphabet and maybe meet new friends who will love them too. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye.